I think as far as draft goes, I think the draft was great.
Yeah, I didn't mind the draft at all. I think we're going into the new game, so
yeah, let's focus on game 2 now. So we're back. We didn't go anywhere, but we're back with game 2 here of semifinal number 2. We have Gr8t, on the Legion side now, and Hmnos Yaipen on the Hellborn side here. They are currently leading 1-0 here on the Hellborn. So similar bans to start here: Monarch and Demented Shaman, choosing to ban the defensive supports. There's a Magmus ban as well. We might just honestly see the same bans here, unless something really bothered them from game number 1.
Do you reckon any of these bans are targeted bans? Like, is there anyone like that comes to mind when it comes to like Magmus or Demented Shaman or Monarch? Maybe they've done some like homework.
I know Bubby plays Monarch a lot. Okay. I think that's one of his comfort supports. It's also pretty, it's a pretty good ban, I would say, overall.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a good hero.
Demented Shaman, I think, is a hero that Religious Man, that's like his best hero. They love picking him Demented Shaman. They have lots. I was looking at the public stats there. They have lots of wins when he plays Demented Shaman. Okay. So that's probably one of his best heroes. And also, that's a hero we pick a lot in our team. So that's a hero they love. Sapphire, we talked about in game 1. That's a targeted ban. And perhaps Magmus, I'm not sure if anyone particularly plays it, but I think it's just a hard hero to play against.
They ban the Hammerstorm, so they actually do respect the Hammerstorm even after the previous game. Not saying that it was a bad performance, but knowing that they were able to beat it, I'm surprised that they decided to ban the Hammer.
Was the only, I think Flux was banned last game. I'm not sure if there was a different ban for the Puppet.
No, it was the same ban just with the Flux to the Hammerstorm, I believe, and they opened with the same Myrmidon first pick. Interesting.
Okay, so Puppet was banned last game. Then it's only the Hammer that was Flux. Right. So maybe we'll see Flux pick this game.
Perhaps. I would love to see a Flux. I love to watch that hero. He makes games very interesting. So
he's very fun, I would say. Enables lots of stuff to just be like wild.
Yeah.
And wild is fun to watch.
And Engineer, or maybe they can open Engineer Flux.
Ooh, yes. I like it.
That's just like
it's a carry's nightmare.
But on paper it's just a really strong, like if the game goes like past like 20 minutes, however hard you fucked up, you can still win it with a Flux Engineer combo. Like it's just, you can be really far behind but still win that shit. So
wasn't that picked like an in-house league like all the time? Flux. It was like either picked or banned every game.
I think it's just it hasn't that been like a classic combo like since the release of
the
Flux
dawn of time. Probably. I always NG Flux is really popular. I always, because I'm a biased Tempest player. I'm always a Tempest Flux advocator. But
I just remember like also stealing a lot of wins just with that combo where you're like really far behind, and then you get the maybe like a staff on the Engineer, and it just Flux blinks in just like a random spot, and Engineer just throws ulti on him, and it's just like you just win the team fight from that. So the options go with
when you say steal wins, does that mean you were losing before?
Yeah. Like I had like one game I was like 0-7 mid on Flux, but I got my PK and that's all I needed. So
okay, so confirmed broken. Okay.
So they decided to go for the Behemoth. I suppose maybe they don't have a Flux player. Maybe it was just a random ban last time. Maybe it wasn't targeted after all. Do we know who? Yeah, it was. I believe it was the current Hellborn team. What's their team name? Because let me check. They're called
Hmnos Yaipen.
Okay, I'll call them Butt because they all have butt tag. So I can't pronounce him Shai, whatever it is. But I will say that they were the team that banned Flux. So concerned or surprised that they didn't go for the Flux, because I feel like that's one of those heroes you want to pick early on if you go for the Engineer. But they do, like, Behemoth is still a good hero.
Oh yeah, Behemoth is oh man, I totally zoned out. I was thinking Flux with Behemoth. No, they have NG with Behemoth. Man, we talked so much about Flux. I thought it was like pick for some reason.
No.
Behemoth NG, that's a lot of like team fight control between those two heroes.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
will need like a PK or something to like really get it going, but yeah,
Yeah.
those heroes are very disruptive.
I think Behemoth strikes me as like slightly weaker laner, but I think actually Behemoth like with the Behemoth, what am I saying? Behemoth together with Engineer and maybe like another good tri-lane hero, they could run those three together. It's a pretty good setup for the Engineer Keck with the Fissure into like another stun or something, or not even another stun, just like a slow or some kind of heal. Decide to ban the armor on here.
Hopefully a ranged carry, I would say, if they run the Behe as like a tri-lane hero.
Now they ban the Flux, which I think is a very good ban considering there's Behemoth and Engineer. I think you're kind of. Yeah. But
did we talk about Nymph and Bomb? They picked up Nymph, so that's their other support with Mermy, and then Bombardier's probably a mid laner.
Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that these Latin teams, they really like these ranged heroes with like range or agility heroes. I guess that's mostly what ranged heroes are, but.
And why don't we see more Bomb? Like every time I face that hero, he feels so like obnoxious. Like he's such a good laner, and then he just does so much damage.
I agree. Bomb is a really good laner, but the only concern is like he mostly does well on a 1v1 lane. I feel because he does need levels. So I guess there's a lot of times when there's like a dual mid lane, he's not really particularly good.
You're completely right. We do so much dual lane mid that I completely forgot. That's probably why we don't see more Bomb.
But I also think that Bomb is one of those heroes that like he's not really like a late game carry. I guess I do think maybe he's underutilized. I remember that Snooki used to like Bomb a lot, and there's also like you can maybe run Bomb together with like a Send Wraith and you can staff him very easily because Bomb is one of those heroes that gets staffed very easily, and they even buffed the staff so it goes through Shrunken these days, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's actually really annoying to face in like mid and late game as a carry. Even when you get your Shrunken, you take so much damage from the Bomb ulti.
There's also
it's like a Hag ulti that can still drop the napalm on the floor too.
Exactly. There's also some synergy with like running like a Chronos where you can just easily just Chronos spear anyone into like an airstrike, which is really fun.
Oh, dude, that's a cheesy combo. Oh man, Chronos bomb that's disgusting.
I love it, but it makes your laning somewhat obvious. I mean, I guess technically you could run the bump on like a solo safe lane or something, but generally speaking, I feel like your lanes are going to be very obvious, so it's very easy for your opponents kind of to try to shut you down if you run like very obvious lanes. So I guess that's like the weakness of bump, but I still think he's probably underutilized, and maybe because he is the hero where I feel like he doesn't really play that well from behind, but he's still farming. Like he doesn't really need like a spell shard or something. He can still one shot a creep wave even without spell shard. I know people like that item on the hero, but he can still one shot wave very easily and get good farm. So,
all right. So the banning phase is done. Calamity, Armadon, Parallax. That's Legion's bans. So Calamity we saw last game. Armadon also, but for Legion, they don't want to give it up. Could pair well with the Nymphora, and then Parallax. So maybe they ban Parallax because we'll get into this in a second, but they picked some very strength-heavy lineups with low mana pools. Mage Bane, Flux, there's the Flux ban, which you mentioned a minute or so ago, and then the Predator ban, which actually, looking back at it now, Predator would have been a great pick for them.
It's also, if you think about it, if you think about the last game, all three cores, or whatever you call it, they were all strength heroes. So maybe kind of they recognize the pattern that they're only picking strength heroes considering they have Drunken and Amadon. So maybe they just wanted to ban other strength heroes. You know, they banned Mage Bane and Amadon and Predator. So they're just banning all strength heroes. But now they got countered by an agility hero, which they didn't expect, I think.
Ooh, this draft just got very interesting. So we have Drunken Master and Ra came out on Legion, and then last pick of Bushwhack. So they are going with the Tricore, and then that Behemoth looking like it could shape up to be a Bushwhack tri-lane, perhaps. I think the Drunken and Ra you probably want to solo lane.
Yeah, Ra I think does really well in the dual lane as well, but
Ra NG perhaps then.
But the Behemoth has no place if they don't tri-lane him. I feel otherwise you would have some solo support Bushwhack, which can work, but it's not a very strong lane if you're going up against the dual lane. Behemoth bought boots, which suggests that he will. I think it's a tri-lane with Bushwhack, and then they're sending the Drunken and the Armadon to solo lane. I hope that's what they're doing. Or alternatively, what might be very unusual would be sent to the Ra in the jungle and then Behemoth suicide. Now I hope they don't do that, but that could be a route they could go for as well.
Wait, did you say Ra to the jungle?
Yeah.
I don't think
Actually-
that's gonna be too good. He needs at least level 3 for the passive to work.
Oh, it
so.
doesn't work in creeps anymore in the chat. Okay, actually.
Yeah, so
Okay. No, I'll wait for that.
okay.
But
it looks like so who's their top laner? Is it the Drunken?
I hope it's a Drunken, and I hope it's Ra mid, because I think Ra will feed on long lane more than Drunken will. I think Drunken is one of those heroes that I mean, he's not. I don't think he's a good suicide hero. Like against, depends on the matchup. Obviously, there are some lanes where he can just sidestep and dodge a lot of stuns, and he can just kind of freely farm. But
he could actually. I think he can stagger disjoint both
I think it's a Ra trialing, and then it's a Bushwhack solo bottom. I think they're just gonna try to repeat what they did.
What? They're trilating the Ra now?
I mean, it's a triple stun lane against a dual lane, so I mean, it's not like awful by any means. I'm
gonna eat my words. This is gonna end up working out. It's gonna be good. I was gonna say, so before we saw this lane swap, I was gonna say the Drunken can disjoint the Moa stun, and I think he disjoints the fish carp.
Yeah.
But I was also gonna say that, like, if you run a Drunken solo off lane, you run into the possibility that he just like doesn't get a lot and he becomes kind of useless in mid game.
Yeah, actually, I'm not hating this because like Saltoris plus Nymph, I think it's kind of limited how. I mean, at some point they can probably tower dive the Bushwhack, but it's like before that, Bushwhack can kind of just chill in the lane because none of the heroes can really pressure him that much. So I think
as long as he telegraphs the Nymph stun, he can sidestep it pretty easily. I would say there's a lot of cast time between when it hits him or when it's going to impact him.
I think they laned it pretty well, honestly. I'm kind of not too upset with the way they laned it. I feel like
yeah, it's actually looking to be a lot better than we thought. Actually, initially, should South just 1v1 this Bushwhack and Nymph go top, or do you think they should keep it 2-1-2 for Hellborn?
That's a good question. I'm concerned that South is not going to be able to farm. He probably will be fine. Maybe they can keep the Nymph there for a little bit, just for South to get like a decent gold lead, and then they can send him over. And then they can kind of use the advantage or leverage they have from being on the safe lane tri lane.
Fissure block comes in on Myrm, but he's just gonna run right. He'll steal a creep or two off the pole. Triple fish coming in for Myrmidon. Well played. Gets all 3.
Alternatively, the Nymph can just try to work with this force just to like skyrocket his farm. You know, he'll just they'll maybe stack some jungle camps in enemy jungle and then maybe like clear them at some point. Because they don't really have any heroes on the Legion side other than Ra kind of early on that can kill stacks. Is Ra a good stack killer? I don't think he's like...
Wait, we have an initiation here. Myrmidon does get walled off here in combo stun. He goes down for the first blood.
Oh, very nice.
That was good coordination from Legion there. They did not stack the stuns, to my knowledge. Started with a Vihi Fissure into a Ra stun and a keg. Very well done there.
Would you say it's easy for the Drunken Master to like to stagger the sticky bomb from the?
No, I think it's once bomb throws it, I think it's like almost instant.
Yeah,
so he's
really,
got to telegraph it and dodge it.
Okay.
I think so anyway.
That's pretty hard.
Yeah. But I will say though, if he ever misses the bomb, it's pretty scary to be near the Drunken Master.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is that like I don't feel like Drunken applies that much pressure before level 6. At least against ranged heroes. Against melees, he can utilize a stagger to harass a lot. But I think before level 6, Drunken is mostly just chilling and just trying to secure last. It's
yeah, he gets on top of the bomb there, puts one auto attack, and a lot of pressure comes out. But he's immediately to go back because the sticky bomb is. The right clicks are, you can see they're very potent.
Yeah, they're potent, but after those 2, he can't really. It's hard for him to get a kill at least. I feel.
Yeah.
From my experience.
I think you definitely are feeling comfortable as the bomb in this matchup early on.
Yeah.
Bushwhack on 11 creeps versus 23 from South. Pretty normal, I would say.
Yeah.
Whereas the Moa has 16 top, so he's doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question about the Moa. Is he a hero that he's like okay playing from behind because he can acid bomb creep camps, or is it like not a hero you really want to get too far behind on?
I would say it's the latter, but I have seen some situations where, like, I think we were playing against BO3 in the past where they were able, like, they're playing from behind, but they somehow, like, the MOAs just kind of sat in the back line and made it work. But at least, like, generally speaking, I'd say MOA is, like, because he's not the hardest carry, but he can be really strong if he gets a really good game, I feel. So So, because he needs a lot of items to get going, you generally do want to stop at some point, as far as I know.
I was going to comment on that. I'm still under the impression that in order for this hero to really be a true carry, he needs a staff.
Yeah,
but before he gets that, he can like deal damage, but he has a hard time killing people.
Exactly, and like even you get the staff, but
bot lane we have a fight. Bushwhack gets a kill there on the nymph. I missed the front half of that, but there's a fissure coming up soon. I don't think they can kill this South Forest. They're just gonna put back some pressure to get Bushwhack to safety. So B rotated bot, and they got a kill there on the support.
Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with that. Obviously, I think it's like the good thing is that Bushwhack is one of those heroes where he like, at least like after he was buffed, he's not the fastest farming hero, but he's one of those heroes.
Go down here maybe. There's a decent wall.
Yeah.
I don't think it completely blocks him off, but he's forced into the creep wave here.
Here comes the nymph though.
Lands up a stun there on the B here. Pod's coming out. Will heal him back up. Does Self have enough healing here? He's getting slow. He's gonna be fine. No boots on the Bushwhack to chase there, but nobody dies actually.
I don't think I like this live tube on the Self Warriors. I just feel like it's just so slow for the lane. You'd rather just like get your boots and maybe get a, because you're probably going to build into a helm, but I feel like you already have the nymph to heal you up. So you'd rather like prefer to have some like kind of, either you go for the early protective talisman, or you just get like upgraded boots or something. Maybe conjunction of both.
I think that would trigger off level 1 dart, right? The threshold is
I think
only
so.
like 60. I think,
but it's physical, so I don't think it's. Does it trigger off physical?
It's oh wait, it's non-dot. Does the Bushwhack Q count as dot damage? No, right?
But it's physical. Does it also trigger off
I think it's just spell damage. I don't think it's.
Oh, it still gives you armor at the end of the day.
So the talisman actually would be good here, I think, like you were saying. Haste to Drunken comes in here. This nymph should go down. He gets stunned up. Boing. I always like saying that. The Drunken sends him in the air. There's a really good Master's Call, though. It actually keeps Nymphora alive, buying a lot of time for the TP support to come in. There's a Sticky Bomb applied to the Haste the Drunken Master. Can he get in range for an airstrike? He does, and 3 bombs hit. He goes down. They take out the Amun-Ra. I think that was in the top lane as well. Kills happening all across the board. And you look up, and 4 players are dead out of nowhere for Gr8t. That was looking really good at the start with the Haste the Drunken, but man, did that backfire.
This spiraled very quickly out of control. So there's Joe.
Hard to tell as a spectator, so I just take their word for it. But that was a big swing in the kill department. It's a lead now for Hellborn, but the more important part is the golden XP, which has jumped to 4K. Mid lane, they take out Bombardier. As I'm rambling on.
Yeah.
Was that as simple as a Drunken combo into a fissure?
I have no idea. I was looking at Self-Always farming creeps bottom lane, so...
Me too, actually. I don't know why. I'm just amused by people killing creeps. But Ward comes out here by Behemoth to try to find the ward. It does miss. The Undying comes out. I think he might survive this. He's still got quite a bit of life. And they're going to try to counter here, take out the Nymphora. He should live here, I think. Just barely. 30 HP. Math is good.
I'm still a bit shocked that Self-Force doesn't have boots after 8 minutes, but I don't know if it's like just... Maybe I haven't really gone for this route where you just rush first item Helm. I just feel like when you're...
It's got to be Helm, right? He's saving the...
Yeah, he's going for Helm, but I'm just not sure it's the... do you reckon it's good just to rush first item Helm if you're playing on a dual lane with an Nymphora?
No, I think especially being long lane, you really want the mobility, but it just helps Self's kit to chase people down. He wants to be in your face. He wants to be fighting you like a man, basically. So if you can't sit on top of the target, it's very awkward to play Self.
I get it, obviously, but like no boots.
I would definitely go boots. Probably would have went bottle, and then from there. Maybe Helm would be okay, but probably not what I would have went for. Fight in the Legion jungle here, by the way. B
He missed
is
his little...
going to dodge the Sulfuras nuke. They take out the Nymphora. Amun-Ra died in the top lane while this was happening again. And Sulfuras goes down there. Undying put out onto the Bushwhack. He's going to have enough life to survive. Very good kiting coming out from Legion.
Yeah. Do you know what item helps against kiting?
Toxin Claw?
No, boots.
Oh. Oh, yeah, you're right. Boots do help. But so does Toxin Claw. So that was wrong. Easy.
Well,
I think Engineer died top lane. He got Dove, I think, in the tower. Small note there's missed that one, but the Legion actually has the kill lead back, but they're still behind again in resources. Top lane, Ra is only level 5. Lots of damage coming in from the Acid Bomb. Auto attacks are not enough to take him down as the team support comes in from Engineer and Mo. Myrmidon waveforms away as the Master Spell comes out on the Mo. He takes out the Behemoth, and Engineer might have overextended now. Can he get a second return kill? Here comes the stun from Ra. They might turn it around. The Carp does take out the Engineer, and Amun-Ra stays alive. He hits level 6 as well, so he had the rebirth, and the Moa did overstep his ground there. Falls and gives the serial killer streak over to Engineer.
Did he not hit the Carp on the Amun-Ra? Maybe through like before the Ra stunned, or did he just tank it?
I couldn't tell you. I think I know it hit the Engineer. I'm not sure if he only hit one or if Amun-Ra just tanked it.
Another question: Is it usual to max your Q on Amun-Ra? Don't you just normally max your passive, or am I? I mean, I don't really play the hero too much, but
I think generally speaking, the Ashe to Ashe is better, but I will say leveling the Q is not bad. Cooldown reduction plus more movement speed and damage when you land on top of your stun. So maybe because he's long lane, he wants the extra mobility. I'm not sure actually.
I'm also a bit surprised that he decided to go for first item Shamans without like upgrading.
Oh, Hellborn team getting a little confident here, trying to steal some stacks. This is a big rotation from Legion. The wall does not completely block him off though. He's going to walk it off. He's getting slowed up by the Bushwhack. He has another dart in 1 second. There's the Master's Call. This Black Helm Sulfuras not going to be tanky enough as they are able to chase him down.
Ooh. Will he get the 3-punch combo here?
Nymph puts a pod down. He dies anyway. It's too much damage. It's a legendary streak for the Drunken Master. And meanwhile, this is happening. 2 towers go down. So Hellborn capitalizes, split pushing across the board. Gets mid and top tier 1 towers.
Yeah. So, but I want to say that, like, considering that they were running a tri-lane on the Legion side on the top lane, I'm a bit sad that the Amun-Ra didn't choose to like upgrade any early items before rushing into Shamans, because you're playing as a Moa who has the acid bomb. So
Drunken goes down.
Oh, you didn't
Moa takes him out. I'm not even sure who initiated this fight. Myrmidon gets walled off here. They're gonna stick around to try to kill him, but they're actually forced to fall back. Engineer goes down. Amun-Ra is gonna be having his ultimate burn. Nympod comes down. The Nymph stun lines up on the Amun-Ra. I don't even know what that airstrike hit. I think it just took out a creep wave.
That airstrike seemed a bit overkill.
But just for show, I guess. But yeah, they end up almost wiping them. They take out 3.
He went into Gnomes on bomb. I've never seen it before. Actually, I don't hate it.
Gnomes on bomb, you said?
Yeah, first item Gnomes, but I mean
that is not a typical item.
But it's not. I mean, as I said, I don't hate it. Like, they're grouping up. It's a very good team item, and they're playing from ahead. And the armor, magic armor, team impact. Not against.
I kind of like the Ghost Marchers on bomb this game too.
Yeah.
I think bomb is like one of those heroes you can buy almost any boots on. Like Striders are good, Steam boots are good. They're gonna almost lock down Drunken here. He gets away. No catch to chase here. The Energizer.
What about Plated Creeps on bomb?
That's probably the one that I would say. And maybe Mana Boots is over.
I think Mana Boots are okay. I think I've seen like a few people run Mana Boots on it, and then you probably just don't go challenge. Then you probably get Mana Boots in bottle, or if you're playing it safe lane, you can just go. You just play Mana Boots only, probably. I think Mana Boots are good if you play safe lane bomb probably.
Yeah, I can see that. I think anytime you lane with somebody else, it's almost better to get it for your teammate than for yourself.
Yeah, and also
but obviously to be able to just spam your spells more than you would if you had just a bottle. They do get the catch here on the Nymph. They're keeping him in the turret. Energy field is down, only locking down the Nymph. Meanwhile, in the background, Behemoth is getting chased. Nymphora is going to eventually fall. She gets her pod down, but it will not secure anything here as Behemoth and the Bushwhack try to take out the Myrmidon. Myrmidon falls. They do get the counter kill there on the Drunken. That's a big kill. And Bushwhack also falls as Salforus comes in for the cleanup here to assist Moa and Bomb. And that's a wipe. 2 for 5. Gr8t has lost all of their players.
I will say,
this is, I think this is just simply the gold lead coming into play now because they have amassed quite a large lead here.
This game doesn't seem very salvageable from what I can see. 13k goal lead at the 40-minute mark. It looks very, very hard to come back from, but...
Nymphora is leveling mana quite a lot. What's your thoughts on that? Only level 2 Nymph pod.
I suppose it does make some sense because she's like walking a lot with the Salforus who has like self-sustained by himself, so maybe he just wants the like constant mana. So it's a bit unusual, but actually I don't hate it when you paired with a tanky Salforus. So
would you flame me if I did that? That's where I was leading this question.
If I was like, it depends on what hero I was.
Okay, so if you were south, then you would say no.
I think
is what I'm getting.
If you were losing, I would be flaming you. But that was just.
Okay. So because they're winning, it's okay. Okay.
It only makes sense if they're winning.
What's happening bot lane? Salforus is all by himself. They gotta kill this guy, right? Oh, he almost kills Engineer. He misses the nuke, though. They do get him, though, with the snipe. Team support comes in. South goes down. He ulted, but he's gonna sacrifice himself as well. Bushwhack TV's out in the trees. Amon-Ra is like, guys, help! I'm all alone!
Here comes the Drunken!
Drunken's like, I'm coming, buddy, I'm coming! Who's he gonna go for? He goes for the Nymph. Sends him in the air, he dies. Airstrike does take out the Ra.
Can he get away?
And... Drunken is trying to juke the bomb and the Myrm here. They're gonna spot him. This is a double damage bomb. Did he miss both auto attacks? I think he missed both.
He's so fast.
I didn't hear that lovely DD sound that we hear when people get hit.
And here comes the turn. He's chasing. He's going for the 3-point strike.
This Drunken is just trying to bait. He avoids the carp stun.
Here comes Engineer.
Myrmidon in the air. Come on, MG. You got this.
An Engineer chooses not to.
Nymph's porting into Salforus though. This is gonna be a turn now for Hellborn. They take out the energy field.
He held onto the energy field for far too long there. He could have killed the Myrmidon if he pressed it earlier.
Unfortunate. I was thinking he would keg right on top of the Drunken stun as well. I think he didn't keg there either.
I feel like Bushwhack actually did pretty well this game. Like his farm and his score is pretty pretty decent, all things considered. I think it's just more that they even the Drunken did well. I think
top lane kind of didn't perform as well as they could have.
They seem to have fumbled a little bit considering they were getting a first blood top, but then they suddenly couldn't really capitalize on that for some reason. I'm actually surprised because I feel like that was like the lane that should have been like the lane where they should have some kind of success going up against dual lane, but...
yeah, Bush just only managed to die one time this game, and well, you know, his creep farm's not impressive, but that's to be expected as he had a 1v2 lane to start the game. So
there's also a hero that doesn't farm that fast, and like I still feel like the hero is still like one of those heroes where if the game goes like 30-40 minute mark and he's sitting at like a 450 GPM or 500 GPM at some point, he's still very, very strong for that. Like he's very useful with the GPM he has after the buff, I feel.
If you look at the damage chart, he's still the top damage dealer on his team, and that's with a game where he wasn't playing from a favorable position.
Yeah, the Ra is sitting at 4%. So.
Drunken going to jump backward here. They're trying to get some counter initiation here. They catch the Myrmidon with a fissure. Master's Call keeps him alive for now. Buying a lot of time though for Hellborn to reset and get their damage output in. Wheatfield not going to connect here. The first to fall is the Drunken Master. Sticky Bomb is on the Amon-Ra's. Airstrike in the face of Bushwhack. No chance there. Energy field down very defensively, but it is a little bit late. Patrick comes out for the Salforus, and only Behemoth walks away from this fight.
This kind of feels like a mid-wars kind of match.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for Hellborn to group up as 5 though at the same time. Their lead is just enormous right now. And for them to like not push these towers would be not ideal. So makes a lot of sense. And then the issue I think also is the Legion doesn't have really good counter pushing heroes to avoid and try to drag it out.
Yep.
So they can't really go to like the two side lanes and avoid Hellborn. So the Racks are gonna fall. Ranged Racks on very low life will get taken out here as well. That's a 19-minute Rax here for Hellborn. Moa is now 625 gold per minute. He went for a Thunderclaw and a Firebrand, so he's going more of that DPS route.
Yeah.
Farming slash, I don't know what you call this, farming DPS kind of Moa.
I like it. I think it's I honestly like the Bombardier has a staff, so maybe he can boost the Moa at some point. I think Gears plus
Bushwhack getting gone on here. It's gonna melt. Just melts to the acid in the right clicks. Merm leaps in very aggressively. He's feeling confident. Wants to bait some spells out. Might have been more of a scare tactic more than anything.
Isn't it pretty unusual for Moa to sit in the attack speed form, or is that normal? I suppose it's pretty good when he has the Thunderclaw.
Probably okay that probably okay since he has that lightning proc, but maybe like probably just needs to change it to blue when they're like running away. I think did he just use his master's call? No, I thought I saw the animation for it. Anyway, top lane they're pressuring. They almost get the tower down. They force some rotations up to there to defend. They did a nice job of splitting 3-2 on the top and bottom lanes.
Yep.
And man, oh man, are you sad to be Behe this game. No golds, 109 GPM, 20 minutes in, you're just not even close to the blink. That is, I've felt this pain before. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is I know this pain of being the behemoth. Maybe you don't know the pain of being the behemoth, huh, Fa?
No. Well, let me ask you this way: is there anyone
much of a player?
Probably not. Is there anyone in the Legion team that's happy right now? Do you reckon?
I mean, to be honest, Bushwhack should be pretty happy with how he played. I think he's probably not happy to be losing, but he should be happy with how he played.
Okay.
Probably same with Drunken. But no, to answer your question, no, I would say not.
Alright, GG.
Well, that's gonna do it. Concebo comes out. This one was very dominant here from Hmnos Yaipen, so congrats to them. They take Game 2, and that will also be the series as they are gonna end it on a 2-0 score. So I believe these guys will be moving on to face the What Is Your Education team in the finals. Any final thoughts here on Game 2 and the semifinal 2?
I would say based on these two games, I would say that it did seem like that the Hmnos Yaipen was the superior team, and they probably are the strongest contender going up against What Is Your Education.